The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 165 of the Daily Mother Swole. Cutting or bulking? As if that's even a fucking question. Cutting or bulking? Everyone knows it's bulking season, 24/7, perma-bulk all year round. I'm kind of kidding. But it depends on the person. It depends on where you're coming from. It depends on if you are, let's start off with the principles of cutting or bulking. Cutting, for those of you that might be new to fitness completely, is referring to trimming up body fat. It doesn't mean necessarily just losing weight. And bulking means putting on weight or putting on muscle. So I'm not talking about getting fat. I'm not talking about just getting skinny. I'm talking about getting lean, and I'm talking about building muscle mass while keeping body fat to a preferable minimum. But generally, losing weight and generally gaining weight is going to be the main definition, cutting or bulking. So any perma bulkers out there, raise your hand and perma bulk. You always know those guys that are perma bulking. They're just like big and like kind of round and just puffy all year round. They just always lift heavy, but those guys are beasts. And so are the people that are trying to cut or stay lean all year round. They're both challenging, and we get stuck into a row. We get stuck into a routine. So let's say you are trying to begin a new journey. You're trying to make a decision whether you should cut or whether you should bulk. Most of you know, what you want as an end result, but some of you don't know what you should do first. And to answer that question on Periscope, and let me just preface the episode, generally if you want mass, you want to lift heavier weight and less reps in general, yeah. So let me just preface this with, this is the Daily Swole. My name is Dash Kellner. I am the host of the Daily Swole. This is Swolenormous, the Daily Swole. You can find every single episode, and I will show you YouTube at Swolenormous. So check out the card right here, Swolenormous on YouTube. All my videos are there. You can also find this every day, 12 noon Eastern Time, triple live broadcast, Facebook Live, Periscope Live, and also Busker Live. So the app of your choice. You can find it on YouTube, which I'm filming right over there. And you can catch this as a podcast. So if you're unable to watch, if you're driving a lot, you can listen to this on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Stitcher as a podcast. So a couple things that are underway. First off, let's go Cleveland. Let's sweep the birds today. Game 4. Let's close it out. Also, still going to get 1 million total hearts on Periscope by the new year. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, that's fine. You got that. I have about, 2.5 months by December, 31st. And I think I'm not quite at 800,000. It's going to be close. Honestly, I think it's going to be close if you guys don't all pitch in. So if you're on Periscope watching, tap away at the hearts, switch hands, tap, 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 give me some hearts, flow some hearts, show the support. And if you are, let's say, for example, you like something, maybe you're not a perma-tapper. If you like a point, if I make a great point, tap it a few times. Let me know that you are enjoying the show and let me know that I'm hitting some talking points that are important to you. You can catch this on YouTube and give it a like, give it a freaking like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also leave a review on SoundCloud and iTunes. Let me know what you think. Give me an honest review. I appreciate it. So cutting or bulking, what should you do? Well, there's two things. There's two things that people start off as. And yeah, Lee, you finally caught one, bro. Good thing it's all recorded too, so you can catch it at your leisure. But glad to see you live on Facebook. You can, I bulked your mom. That's actually pretty funny. I'll let her know you said that. She's probably watching live too. So rude. That was a good one. I bulked your mom. I don't know why that actually got in there. That's pretty funny. Okay, so what should you do? Should you cut or should you bulk? There are two things. There are three, but there are two general concepts for people's physiques naturally: ectomorphs and endomorphs. And ectomorphs are people that are generally skinny, that burn a lot of calories that have a tough time putting on weight. And endomorphs are those that are a little bit more rotund, a little more round. They have trouble losing weight. They're a little bit on the bigger side. So generally, endomorphs are going to want to cut in general because they're tired of being a little bit overweight. And generally, people that are endomorphs, they want to bulk because they're tired of being skinny. And this can be for a couple of reasons, because they have always wanted to be the opposite. And also, people usually want what they don't have. People want what they don't have. So first off, I want you to look within. I want you to think about why you really want what you want. Do you want something because you want to get big because you're not big, or do you want to be big just because it's something that you haven't attained? Like everyone just wants what they don't have. So really understand if you really want to be big. I have been really, really big. I've been really, really big, and it's a lot of work. And I think I tricked myself and I kind of lied to myself saying, I want to get big, I want to bulk up. It's such a challenge. It's such a challenge, and it's so hard to eat that much food all the time. Not only is it expensive, and I'm not talking about supplements, I'm not talking about steroids because I've never taken it. I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm just talking about eating food. It is a challenge. It is extremely difficult to eat that much food all the time. It's exhausting. So when I can step back and just chill, now I'm doing yoga, I'm eating, healthy meals, I'm eating, I'm training a little bit leisurely right now. Like I said, I'm getting back into my routine, and I'm, feeling out what I want to do moving forward with my life. I still have all the experience and I still have the muscle base from what I created from lifting super heavy. It is very challenging to get very lean and to eat on that strict diet, and it's very challenging to eat a lot of food and do it consistently. It's stressful. And you can create a good habit, but once you back off, you realize how much brain space and how much stress it actually caused on the body. So, Harambe was in a cutting phase. Oh my God. Actually, the trolling on Periscope is really funny today. So keep it up. I appreciate that. I like the flow. Hey, Michael V on Busker. What's up, brother? So, cutting or bulking, what should you do? There's one in between. There's one body type in between, not endomorph, not ectomorph. There's mesomorph. And mesomorph is someone who's of average body type that can either gain or lose weight, that has the ability to manipulate and kind of do both. So those people have a little bit more of a choice. They have the ability to gain or lose. And like I said, ectomorphs and endomorphs have problems gaining and losing weight respectively. Not that they can't, but their body type is generally a little bit overweight or generally a little bit underweight. Here's the concept. I'm not saying, look, the title of this is should you cut or should you bulk? And here's the reality. It's up to you. What do you want? What do you really want to do? My perfected cardio is no cardio. What do you want? What do you truly want? If you accept what your talent and your ability is, that's your first step. You need to know yourself. And I talk about self-awareness. I talk about learning your body. I talk about listening to your body. There comes a point where you have to accept what your body is designed to do. Some people will never have a six-pack. Some people will never be lean. Some people will never be 5, 6, 8, 9, 10% body fat. They just won't. And you know those people. They're just, some people that never work out, they're just big guys or big women. They're just big. They're just large people. Some people are just skinny. They're just lean. They're just never going to get, they can eat everything under the sun. Yeah, they can take anabolics, but naturally they're just not designed to be a big person. It's genetics. You can't fight genetics. To a point, you can change things, but you can't change where your muscle attaches. You can't lift up your biceps. Let me put over here. Let me make this muscle belly longer. Let me, just raise that peak. Let me change this split. Let me, some people have let's say 6 or 8 or 10 pack abs. I have a very nice cut for my muscles, for my abs. Some people have 4 blocky abs. Some people have really tiny, compressed, sucked in, drawn in looking abs. Everyone has different abdominal muscle. That's genetic. You can't change that. You cannot change that. So you have to accept what your ability is. You might not look like someone that could be on the cover of Muscle and Fitness because your muscle attachments are different. You might bulk up big in your shoulders, but your biceps might have a tough time growing. Not everyone's going to look like Arnold. Not everyone, no matter how many steroids or how much you train in the gym, you'll never look like Arnold. Some people could look similar to Arnold, but no one will ever look exactly like Arnold because you're not Arnold. You'll never look like exactly like someone else because you're not that person. So you have to understand what your capacity is, what your talent is. If you're a bigger person, maybe you're just designed to do more strength training and to lift heavier weight, and you have to be happy with where you are. Okay? Chill out on the trolling on Periscope. It's funny. It is funny, but it's going to interrupt the experience for other people. So tighten it up, or I'm going to start blocking. Just a heads up. The ringmaster's coming back, so be nice. Be nice. So you have to accept what your talent and what your ability is. You got to focus on your strengths. Focus on your talent. Focus on your talent. You got to focus on what your ability is. Doesn't mean you can't try. Doesn't mean you can't lean out. Doesn't mean you can't bulk up. But you know who I'm talking about. There are some of you that really, no matter what you do, it's not going to happen. You can just cut your losses and stop trying to attain the unattainable. Once you start focusing on your strengths, what you're good at, doesn't mean you can't do cardio for health. Doesn't mean you can't do high repetition. Doesn't mean you can't do higher intensity interval training and lose some weight, but you might never look exactly the way that you envision. It's just hard. It's just hard because you are dealt some cards. You are dealt a hand of cards. What you can do with that hand of cards is going to, can you win every single poker match? Let's say you get dealt like a king, a pair of nines and, XY, who cares? You can win some hands of poker. You can't outbluff everyone. You can't beat every other hand that's possible. You could beat some. You might luck out on a few, but you're not going to literally beat every single hand. And that's just the way it is with life. With the cards you're dealt, you're not going to win everything. The problem is everyone is trying to do everything. Everyone thinks and they're raised or they have this idea in their mind, I can do anything I want. I could do this. Oh, if I buy this routine or if I try this diet plan, I'll get this. Or, this is the way to lose weight. This is the way. Sometimes it's not going to happen. It's just not going to freaking happen no matter what you try. And that's not supposed to be, devastating or negative. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. Some people are never going to get a six-pack. Are you going to be miserable and keep on chasing this holy grail your entire life and not be satisfied with your body and have low self-esteem? Maybe. A lot of people do that. But there has to be a point where you accept what you have and embrace it. And that's where this episode is coming from. It's not so much, here's a routine. Should you do this? Yeah, do this. Do 5 reps, do 6 reps. There's so many different paths to get to where you want, but you need to know what you really can do. You need to know your strengths, and then you need to go after it from there. Okay? Focus on your nutrition more than your training. So if you're having a problem losing weight, if you're having a problem gaining weight or muscle, you need to focus on your nutrition. You can gain muscle, you can shred up lifting heavy weights in both respects. How you're eating is going to make a big difference. How you're eating is going to make a huge difference. I'm not going to throw out bullshit numbers like, nutrition is 80% of the game, Nutrition is 90%. That's just BS numbers. It's going to be different for everyone. It's very important, let's put it that way. Most people will not be able to eat absolute garbage and have a six-pack. Most people aren't going to be able to cheat all the time and have great results. Not everyone's going to be able to play the macro game and, if it fits your macros, you can eat whatever you want and get results. Not everyone can do that. You have to try and see what works. But then once you do, then you have to be consistent. Then you could be consistent, and you need to be consistent. Wherever you're at, you have to be consistent. You have to put in that effort on the daily basis. And you got to push yourself with resistance training. You're not going to get your results by going half-ass and not going to failure with resistance training. You need resistance training. Whether you want to cut, whether you want to bulk, you need to lift weights. You're not going to bulk doing yoga. You're not going to get absolutely shredded and ripped doing yoga. You might lose weight doing yoga and practicing, let's say, very, very light resistance training, but heavier resistance will help you get either goal, and then the nutrition can be geared around that. It's going to really, like I said, come down to what your capacity is, what your motivation is, how many days a week you can train. Don't think you're going to get absolutely amazing, out of this world results training 2 or 3 times a week. The more results you want, like anything else, the more you want something, the more lofty your goal, the more effort you have to put into it. With business, with life, with relationships, you can't put in half-ass effort and get amazing results. That makes sense with anything. And just because you bought a program, just because you bought a gym membership, just because you got new gym shoes, just because you bought a fucking protein shake or a pre-workout, doesn't give you the right, doesn't give you the ability to get results. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Okay? It is the effort you put into it, and it's not the effort for a day. It's not the effort for a week. It's not the effort for a month. It's the effort over the course of years. It's the effort over the course of years. And not everyone wants to accept the fact that, wow, I'm going to have to put in years of effort to get these results. And yeah, I can take 2 weeks off. I can relax. I can slack a little bit and still have a body and pop back into it really quickly because for the last 15, 16 years, my body has absolutely adapted to being in this type of physical condition, so I can go off the rails a little bit, relax, come back, and bounce back into it pretty quick because my body, that's the norm. Being fit and being muscular and being lean is the norm for my body. Whatever my genetics are, it's the norm for my body because I put myself, I'm not lucky, I'm not fortunate, it's not a stroke of, wow, I'm so lucky to have this body. Yeah, my genetics to a point, but I've also put in ridiculous effort for 16 years, and my entire life I've been active. So there is a fortunate part of it because I was dealt, a certain set of cards and a certain set of genetic structures, and I had certain exposure at my ages to activity, but I also put in a shit ton of work to bulk up and to get the muscle that I have today. And that's why I can have a little bit of leeway with taking time off and taking time off with my fitness or taking days off or taking more rest days and so forth because I have created that momentum of being muscular, of going to the gym, of eating healthy. So if I take a week off or 2 weeks off, don't work out, I eat pizza, I drink some beer, I chill, I let my body recover, I'm not going to look like a fat slob. I might look a little softer, hold a little more water. That's fine. I know I can bounce back. If I don't have abs to my liking, give me a week or two, done. Depending on how much I care. Pop right back. So luckily for me, I'm getting older and I'm 33, I'm aware that it's going to get harder. So I'm making sure that I'm keeping things tighter. I'm not letting it go completely, but I took my time off from the gym mentally and now I'm more eager to go back and to push myself again. I'm back in the mental flow of things, but that's me being aware of myself and what I can do. And that's from years and years and years of studying. Okay. There's a reason why surgeons go to school for 13, 14, 15 years with residency plus and all that stuff. So they study and they know their shit. That way they can cut and replace your heart and with a high percentage of success rate. I know what I can do because I study my body. I know what my body reacts to. I know if I eat a certain food, I'm going to be on the toilet all day. I know if I eat a certain food, I'm going to feel pumped and lean. I know if I don't eat a certain food, I might feel flat. I know if I eat a certain protein, I'm going to get gassy or I'm going to have stomach pains or I'm going to feel sluggish. I know if I work out at this time of day, it's going to feel shitty for a couple weeks or for a couple days, but then I'll get used to that routine. I just have to push through it and do it. I know how my body works with habit. I know how my body works mentally. I know not to do, for example, yoga. I was going to go again today. I'm a little bit sore. I was a little bit tired. I know not to force it. I'm not forcing yoga every single day because I don't want to overload myself and make it a negative stress. Like, oh my God, I have to go. I'm trying to create a routine. I'm trying to create a habit. So I allow myself every other day. I'm starting with nice and easy just to get in the habit of actually going to the class that I like, going to it, making it a set thing in my schedule. And then I can up the intensity of the yoga and perhaps the frequency. But I'm making sure that I'm getting there 3 or 4 days a week, whatever my, at least 3 days a week. I'm making sure I get to it on certain days, no matter what. And then when that habit sticks, then I can add and then I can make it more intense. I can do 2 in a row. I'll be able to push it more and that habit is there. So I know how my body works. So I encourage all of you, you have to figure out how your body works, how your mind thinks. You have to figure out what your talent is so you can push on your strengths. Otherwise, you're going to be chasing this invisible fucking ghost your entire life, and you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. There are some things in this world, and physically, because genetics plays a large role, no matter what anyone says, there are some things that you will never get with your body. One, unless you put a shitload of effort in that you're not willing to do. And other things that just will not happen. So either you accept the fact they'll not happen, you keep on trying, and you're happy with how close you get, and you enjoy the chase, but you're happy with yourself, or you accept what your strengths are, and then you play on those. So you need to understand what you're good at, and then push forward on that note. Thank you for joining me for episode 165. Remember, I am triple live every day at 12 noon Eastern Time, Facebook, Periscope, and Busker, all at Swolenormous. You can find every single episode of The Daily Swole and more, almost 600 videos on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Swolenormous. So Swolenormous on YouTube. So if you're not following me on YouTube, how dare you? Follow me on YouTube, like this video when it gets posted, subscribe, give me the support. Thank you for the hearts. Remember, 1 million hearts by December 31st. And trust me, I see at the end of every scope, I know who's giving me the most hearts. So there could be a little treat for those of you that float the most. So I appreciate it. Thank you for the premium members that are always here supporting me every day. And also SoundCloud and iTunes and Stitcher for those that want to listen to The Daily Swole. So if you want to catch up and listen to some of the previous episodes, they're all online on iTunes and Stitcher. I appreciate any hearts and likes and follows that you can give, any reviews that you can give me for iTunes. So if you're an iTunes listener, if you're on the Apple tip, make sure you leave an honest review on my iTunes channel. I really appreciate that. That really helps out the podcast. So thanks again for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow for episode 166 of The Daily Mother Swole. I'll catch y'all on the Instagram, Snapchat, all that good stuff. Let me know if there's something you want to see on The Daily Swole, and we'll get pumped together. Have an enjoyable rest of your Tuesday, lads. I'll see you tomorrow for episode 166. Peace.